Hey everyone, let's make sure we are where we're supposed to be. Give everyone a chance to find us. There we are. I think we're in the right spot. Yep. All right. Have a super cute card for you tonight. One I've never made before, so you might have, but it's new to me and I thought I would share it with you with some new product out of the mini catalog. Speaking of which, actually, crazy that it is already Thursday night. Where did this week go? Goodness gracious. All right. Again, we'll wait just another minute or two. Such a pretty day today. I hated that I had to work, but we got to do what we got to do, right? Not too hot, not too cool, nice breeze. My kind of weather. Although I'm not really looking too forward to this weekend, though. They're saying it's going to storm on Saturday night. I am not a fan of storms, nor are my dogs. Let's get everything out here. Hopefully everyone has things planned for the weekend. I know it is Glendale on Saturday, which is always fun. I used to take my girls there, kind of like a mother-daughter thing. And then, of course, Mark started going with us when he came off of the road. And now I haven't been in several years. It's kind of different without the girls. All right. Make sure you say hello and let me know you're here. And then we will jump in just a second. I started to say I can't believe all of the Christmas stuff that's already out when it's not even Halloween. And I'm making a Christmas card tonight, so go figure, right? All right, I am going to go ahead and jump in. Today is October 16th, 2025, and this is our weekly Facebook Live here on DonnaStamps.com. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Donna Schneidmiller. I live here in Louisville, Kentucky, and I have been a demonstrator since 2004. So coming up on 22 years, and honestly, I can't imagine not doing it. A couple of reminders for you. First of all, an amazing Join special is going on right now. I don't think I have ever seen it this low. And if you just want to fill in some things on your stash and get a discount, now is the time to do that. We have two options. One is $125 worth of product for $35. Yes, not $135, $35. Blows my mind. Or you can get $189 worth of product for $99. So which is the better deal? In my opinion, the $35 one, because you're getting a substantial amount of product, but then you can turn around and place an order for the things that else that you want at your 20% discount. Now, again, there's no obligation to do classes, sell, do any of that. You can simply be your own happy shopper and earn a discount on those products. And then, of course, if you choose to, you'll be able to do that through the end of April. And then at the end of April, if you have not met the requirement to stay active, you would simply fall off and walk away with everything that you've already purchased. No additional obligation, which is wonderful. I have already had 6 people take advantage of it, and we're only halfway through. And I am super excited to have these ladies join my team. So if you are interested, please reach out and let me know. There's a link here in the group that you can click on. And of course, there's lots of other things. When I first signed up, I signed up specifically for getting a discount. And now, like I said, I can't imagine not having all the people in my life that I have met thanks to this simple little paper crafting hobby that I have. The friendships above all have made the last 21, almost 22 years incredible. Not counting, of course, getting to go to different events in different places I've never been before. But again, the friends that I have all over the U.S. and a few in other countries, it's hard to imagine not having them. So again, if you are looking for something like that, a nice community of like people who enjoy crafting, etc., you're looking for some creative inspiration, etc., reach out to me. I'd love to talk to you about, again, joining my team. Club Cove is still open for the month of October, and we are featuring the Gathering Moments bundle, which has those absolutely gorgeous dies. I don't remember if I have shown them to you recently, so I'm going to show them to you now. Just look how stunning these dies are. So you have the dies that will cut out your stamped images, but these 2 leaves are just stunning. So you can cut out just the outside image, or you can run the larger die inside of the outline, and it puts these dots in it, which you can use to stitch. I've never stitched on anything that's other than cross stitch or sewing a tear in my shirt. So I'm just excited to try it. So if you would like to try it with me, please reach out and let me know. It is $30 for local pickup. It is $38 if you need to have me ship it to you. You're going to get about $26 worth of product this month. So you're paying $30, but you're getting $26 in product. And you're going to get enough consumables all cut and ready for you to make 8 cards, 2 each of 4 different designs. And we are using that gorgeous gathering paper with the gold foil. So stunning, stunning. You're going to love it, if nothing else, for that. Okay. As far as upcoming classes, I have 2 more events coming up during this month. And that is on the 4th Sunday of every month. I do my Stamp-A-Stack, and we have the next to the last Christmas card Stamp-A-Stack coming up. Whoa, run that all together. On the 26th, you make 16 cards, 4 each of 4 designs for $25. And as a member of my team, one of the many perks that I also offer in addition to what Stampin' Up! Does is my team members can come to my Stamp-A-Stack for $16. So you get to come for $1 a card. I do all the work. You just come and have all the fun. So that is open again, 16 cards for $25, $16 if you're on my team. You could sign up and get the starter kit today and be able to come for $16 if you like. I am also having that day, and I am super excited about it, Stampin' Bunko. It is $30. We're going to make 4 cards. We're going to play several rounds of Bunko, and the prizes are all going to be Stampin' Up! Product and or gift certificates. We're going to have snacks and goodies, etc. I only have a very small amount of spots left, meaning I'm doing 20. And that's the max. So it is going to fill up, I know, before the deadline. So if you've been thinking about it, grab your friend. I know, Bernice, I see you on here, and you and some of your friends and family are coming. So I'm excited to see you. But we are going to have a fun time playing Bunko and, of course, making some super cute cards. So you'll find both of these events up here on the group. So you can take advantage of registering for one or both. Some people are saying, how in the heck can I make 16 cards plus play Bunko if I wanted to do both? And what we're going to do is we're going to let people stamp their images for Stamp-A-Stack if you are doing both, and then take pictures, and I will have everything ready for you, and then you can simply put them together at home if you would like to do that as well. So if you have any questions, again, reach out and let me know. Now, make sure you comment. Let me know you're here. I always put your name into a drawing for the product that we did on our last live, and that is this beautiful Christmas card that we made using the Gift of Joy and that stunning paper called Traditions of Christmas. So let me see, I've got everyone's name here in the cup, so let us see who is going to get this. And again, make sure you're commenting. I see lots of you watching, but if you don't comment, you don't get into the drawing, and I want you to be. So this is going to go to Linda McFarland. And of course, you can always comment if you don't catch me live and you watch it on replay. You can absolutely comment, replay, etc., and you will be included in the drawing. Now, if you share my video, which I greatly appreciate everyone doing, it's helping my community grow and grow. You can type the word shared in all capital letters, and I will put you into this drawing for a stack of cards from my stash. And this is going to go to Miss Bernice. So I will get those ready for you. So congratulations to you both. Hi, Miss Terry. Good to see you. All right. And then, of course, if you place an order in my online store that is $35 or more before shipping, tax, and any rewards that you might use, I will, in addition, not only will you receive 10%, so $3.50 will go into your reward bank, but I am going to be sending out to each of you a pack of the Shimmer Star Foam stickers. We use these on a recent project. You'll get a whole pack. This is probably my second or third pack of them. I am loving them so much. They are squishy, and so sparkly. But you have basic black, petunia pop, and white, and they just look great with all kinds of different projects, not just Halloween. Okay? All right. Let me see if I said hello to everyone. Yes, I remembered. You sure did. Well, we need you too, Miss Terry. It is a wonderful community to be a part of. Like I said, I would be absolutely lost without all of the people that I have met thanks to this wonderful company. All right. let's see. Let me go ahead and bring in for you the stamp sets that we're going to use tonight. And one is from the online exclusives and one is from the mini catalog. So let me put the camera down and I will show you. All right. So we actually used this stamp set last week when we made the card that I just drew for. And I'm loving this stamp set. I can't get enough of it. It is a photopolymer. It is very reasonably priced. Let me tell you, I meant to grab the page number in the mini. Here it is. It's kind of hidden back here in the back. I think people see that adorable gingerbread man and they immediately kind of skip over this one. It's on page 55. The stamp set is $21. And again, I just think it is one of those that's well worth the money because you can do so much with it. You've got packages that you can use for birthday. You can make various little wreaths. You've got the floral image that we did. They don't have to be poinsettias like I did them. They can be something else. And then, of course, you've got these cute little ornaments and the stockings, but I think that looks like a hamburger bun. What do you think? So you could easily turn that into something else, but I just love how it has the texture to it when you actually go to do the stamping. So tonight we're just going to use the sentiments. And then have you ever picked out or saw a stamp set that you thought, oh, that's cute, but I don't know that I really need it? Well, this is that stamp set for me. This is called Festive Friends. And at first I'm like, yeah, that's cute. This is part of the online exclusive releases for September. And I thought, yeah, it's okay. I'm not one to be a cutesy normally, but this is kind of cutesy, right? So I thought, okay, let's look at it. Well, I'm seeing so many adorable things that I jumped on the bandwagon, and I'm so glad I did because I'm having so much fun with it. You have these 3 characters, okay? And this image is actually 90%. So your image is much bigger, 10% more bigger than what you're seeing on the box, okay? And you've got some sentiments, etc. And then you have these fun dies. So you've got this wonderful label. You've got this label. This actually will make a tag. Let me take it out for you and show you what I mean. It has this little tab already set in it for you so that if you wanted to use it as a tag, these little characters fit perfectly on it. But if you wanted to use it just as a layer, you could simply snip off that little piece and you would have a gorgeous label. You've got lots of little snowflakes, which are fun. Some of these, if you lay them on the paper, will actually just cut out the images in the paper. You've got 2 different trees that you can put behind your characters. And then you have this wonderful little label here, which we're actually going to be using tonight. So a very fun set. And of course, if you like to color like I do, it makes it even more fun. So let me show you what we're going to be working with. We are going to be doing a double Z fold card, and I have never done a double Z fold card. So at least not like this one. I've done something similar, but not in landscape. Okay, so we are going to start with a piece of Real Red. This is 4 1/4 by 11. And then we have a second piece that is also by 11. This is 2 1/8. And in both cases, the pieces are scored at 2 3/4 and 5 1/2. Okay. Then, Then we're going to use some of the Designer Series paper. Again, we're going to be using the Traditions, but I'm using the back side. This piece is 4 by 5 1/4. I need a coordinating piece of the same paper. This is 4 by 2.5. I need a piece of Old Olive that is also 4 by 2.5. And then I'm going to add some of the Secret Sea Designer Series paper color pack, that design, which is on the back of this one. Okay. All these again are from the same pack. And this one is 5 1/4 by 1 7/8. And one more that is 2 1/2 by 1 7/8. And of course, all these measurements will be up on the Creative Cove shortly after this video. Then you're going to need a piece of basic white. This is also 2 1/2 by 1 7/8. And then you're going to need a scrap of basic white to do your stamping, as well as to cut out the little label that I was explaining to you. So you're going to have plenty of room to stamp your image as well as to die cut out. Okay? All right. So I am going to start by doing some stamping. And we're actually even going to do a little bit of coloring. The ink that I'm going to use tonight is Memento Black, as well as my Real Red. And then I have some blends that we're going to use. And I'm going to use the stinking cute little elf. I just think he is the cutest little guy. And I'm just going to stamp him on my image. And like I said, hey, Paula, long time no see. Hi, Miss Tracy. And I just think this little elf is too stinking cute. So I've got him stamped, okay? And then I'm going to pull the ink colors directly from the Designer Series paper. Now I'm going to lay him aside for just a second, and I'm going to bring in my basic white piece as well as my little label. And these images again are coming from the Gift of Joy. And I'm going to use the little piece that says Mary. And I am just going to stamp this right here in the center. Oh, that was actually straight. Okay. And then I have the sentiment that says, wishing you a season wrapped in love and tied up with joy. And I am going to put that toward the top of this basic white square. My goodness. All right. So that is all of that. And you could actually make quite a few of these. Okay, now I am going to bring in some blends, and I am using the light version of Real Red, Secret Sea, Old Olive, and Pecan Pie. And then this is one of the neutral colors, and he's a little pinker than some of the others. This one happens to be SU1000. And if you haven't checked out the different skin tone blends we have, you need to check them out because they are wonderful. Oh, and I know I need one more. Where is he? Let me see. Is this the one I want? No. I want Pretty in Pink. Okay. So very quickly, I'm not going to do any fancy blending. I'm just going to, this is Secret Sea. And I'm just going to fill in. And I find that when I have smaller areas, I do better with the bullet point. But you could actually use the brush also. Okay, so we've got that. Then I'm going to make his little pom-pom on his hat. also secret, see? And I love how when you're doing these that they all of a sudden just pop. Like, it's crazy to me how they come to life so quickly. All right, I'm going to use my Real Red. And also, a tip I want to share with you pertains to your blends. You never want to color straight up and down, okay? You don't want to use your tip because you will flatten that nub. And once it's flat, you can't get it back. And I also find that it likes to fray a little bit. So if you flatten that nub, it's workable, it's usable, but it's just not as crisp. So always color from the side. Okay, so now we'll fill in here. His little shirt. I just think he's so cute. And like I said, much bigger than the image that is on here. And again, I'm not doing any blending. I'm just coloring. Some people don't like to color. I find it and fussy cutting very relaxing, so I enjoy doing it. All right, so there is that. We'll use our Old Olive, and we'll color in his band. I mean, you could, the color combinations that you can do with these little guys is endless. Okay, and we'll do his sleeves and this little band. Okay. Then I have pecan pie, and I am going to use the bullet. Now for this, I am going to kind of just outline these little curls, and I might go over it a couple times just to kind of put some definition there, but then I'm just going to color right there. Give him some little bangs and a little tuft of hair sticking out. Oh my gosh, so cute. Okay. Then I'm going to use my skin tone. And like I said, this one is a tad bit pinker than maybe a beige. But you definitely have different intensities as you go up. Now, I'm going to go ahead because of the bigger space. And I will use my brush tip. And again, coloring from the side. And I also, I don't know if you can see that I'm doing it, but as I color a little bit, I kind of pause and I turn the barrel a quarter of a turn. And that again just keeps it from flattening out, and it also keeps that color kind of flowing. Okay, we've got him. Oh gosh, he's so cute. Okay, now I'm going to take this Pretty in Pink. This is the light. And I just want to darken up his cheeks here, right where these little freckles are. Just like that, okay? And I think I need to add just a little bit more right here. There we go. There. All right, then we're gonna use the dies, and we would die cut that out. But I already did one, so I've got him right here. The only thing about him is that he doesn't have his little pink cheeks. So I'm going to add those. Okay. And then I am going to take a little bit more. And I'm just going to kind of darken his face just a little bit. And of course, you can soften the edges of his cheeks by going over them. All right, so there he is. All right, so how cute, right? Now I'm going to go ahead and put some dimensionals on the back so that he will be all ready for our card as we go to build. And I'm going to add some extras just so he doesn't smash. All right, so we're going to bring back in all of our pieces here. Lay these aside for a second. All right, and what I want to do is I'm going to put my colors together. You are going to want to fold this in your normal version of your card. So we're going to score it in half first. Okay, we've already scored it at 5.5. And then we're going to score this one back onto itself and score it again. Okay, so that is our standard Z fold. Okay, now I always like to open up my card and burnish in the opposite direction just to kind of help break those fibers so that it will lay flat for me. Okay, all right, so we've got that done. Now we're going to go ahead and fold and burnish this one as well. So we've got our short sides, etc., but we're going to flip it over. And what I mean is, let me go back here. Instead of having our score lines to the right, we're going to put them to the left, okay? And so we're going to put this one down. Okay. And then we will fold this one back. Okay, so that we end up with a backward Z, okay, like this, all right, so that it's now this way, okay. So I'm going to flatten it out just a bit and add my Designer Series paper. So I'm going to start with my plaid and my main base page. Hi, Miss Linda. Glad you could make it. Thanks for being here. Okay, so we're going to add this piece right here. Okay. Then, of course, this is going to be our front, so we want those to coordinate. So I'm going to add this piece of plaid onto my front panel, which is the one to the far left. And this is a card that you can use up your Designer Series paper if you have scraps, etc. And you can also modify wider or thinner this extra piece, okay? And then this one is going to go right here in the middle. Okay, maybe that one, this one, and this one. That's going to go here. Just like that. Okay, so again, we have this, which becomes this. Okay, now we're going to bring in our other piece. And again, this is the opposite. So instead of having our center score mark to our left, it's now to the right. Okay. And this is going to fold over onto itself like this. Okay, and you want to make sure it's lined up and square as best it can be. Sometimes it likes to shift when you have that score line. So we're just going to burnish those well on both sides. I'm going to do this one. Okay, So now I've got those. And it goes like this. Again, we want to make sure our burnish is all scored. So we've got this score mark is now going to be on the left. Okay, so I'm going to open it back up and I'm going to add my long piece. Here. We're going to add our basic white to the center panel. And you kind of want to do one and then do the next one so that everything lines up for you. Okay. And then we're going to add our other secret C piece down here on the end. Okay. And I'm going to make sure my lines are going the same direction. All right, and that goes like that. So now you have your base, and this is your second Z. Okay, so what you want to do is you want to go ahead and fold that closed and flip it over. And on the piece that is folded onto itself, you want to add adhesive. And of course, you could use liquid glue if you like. I am going to add seal, and I want it to come pretty heavily because you're going to be utilizing this in motion, and that will give you that stability. So what I want to do is I only want to put adhesive on that square, and then I'm going to decide where I want this. And I kind of want it across the center, so I'm going to line this up flush all the way to the actual edge of the card. Press it down. I'm going to open it up and I'm going to take my bone folder and just kind of strengthen that a little bit. Okay, so I have this. Now, what I'm going to do is I want to fold this in, okay? And then you can do this one of two ways. You can kind of eyeball it and see where on this piece you want to put adhesive. But I think it's easier for me to look at where my layer is going to fall. And I'm going to put my adhesive over here. Okay, I'm going to put it on the panel that it's going to attach to, because then I don't have to worry about adhesive getting where I don't want it to be. Okay, so I'm just going to fold that over and press it down. Okay, and again, I'll take my bone folder and just kind of rub it. So now I have my double Z mechanism and everything lays flat for me. Okay, and now I'm going to finish up decorating him. So I have the word happy, and I am going to go ahead and grab some dimensionals, and I'm going to put them right here in the center. Now, I don't want to cover up those little cutouts because I want the blue to show through. I could have put a dimensional on top of it, but then you would have had sticky showing, okay? So I'm going to come over here, and I'm going to just add it to the center, just like that, okay? And then I've already added dimensionals to our little elf. And I know something I didn't grab. We'll grab it here. And I'm just going to sit him right here, like this, okay? And I want to grab my Wink of Stella, so let me do that really quick. No, wrong. Yep. And we're going to dress him up a little bit. So I'm just going to add some sparkle to his little outfit here, which will make him even more festive. And I saw this card by my friend Tammy in Ohio. So Tammy, I know you watch me from time to time. So thank you for sharing this card with me. I absolutely love it. All right. So we've got him all sparkly. And then I'm going to bring in the Strawberry Slush and Pretty in Pink gems. And I know you're probably thinking, Pretty in Pink, what? But in this pack, they have the gold and white gems. And I want to use those here on my card, because they kind of look like snowflakes, right? I'm going to put one over here. And then we'll put one here. And we'll put one here. We'll add, let's see. Let me do this. I want them to be more, there we go. We'll put him up a little bit. There, that's better. There. Okay. And there he is. Is that just not the cutest little card? And you've got plenty of room to sign, but if you wanted to do a message, clearly you could add a basic white piece on the back, and you could add some additional stamping, etc. if you wanted, or even some designer series paper, so you have a place to write your message. Now, I copied the one similarly that Tammy did, but she used that gorgeous Charming Day paper. And this was a pattern that I was struggling with a little bit, but I just love how she put these two patterns together to pull out that Timid Tiger. So this is Night of Navy, and I changed mine up ever so slightly, but you can see just how pretty this paper is as well. So you get to show off several of the pieces of designer series paper that you might have in your pack. So you've got holiday version, and then just a thank you that is, again, just beautiful. And there's lots of different stamp sets that you can use to do this. So that's your card for tonight. I hope you like that. You'll give it a try. Again, it's super easy, but it has a lot of punch to it, which makes it a lot of fun. So keep in mind that if you're thinking about coming to Bunko, like I said, I have less than one table open. And so if you're interested in that, you need to sign up by a week from Wednesday. But again, sooner than later is better, because once we reach the capacity, then I'll be shutting that off. And then we have Christmas card Stamp-A-Stack coming up the same day. And you can do one or both. It's totally up to you. And registration for that ends this coming Sunday. Okay, so have a great rest of your week. Make sure you check out all of the fun stuff that's going on. If you have any questions whatsoever about the $35 starter kit, please reach out. And of course, I would love to have you as part of our community. Have a great rest of your week, a wonderful weekend, and I will see you back here next Thursday at 8:30. Thanks so much, everyone. Bye-bye.